Hello, my name is Mrs. Spellman. Welcome to GCSE Computer Science. Let's get started. Looking at the bigger picture, we are working on memory and storage. It's a red topic. And in particular, we're looking at how characters are represented by binary. So if you pause the video and take stock of your knowledge so far, and once you're happy you've done that, if you fill out the slip in your green book. And now we're ready to learn. Before we learn what a character set is, we really need to understand what we mean by character. So, an example of a character could be a letter, capital, lowercase, even one with a fodder on. Another example would be a number, 5 for example. We could have symbols like the infinity symbol in maths, or we could also have emojis. So all these are characters that could be represented by a computer system. And a character set is the complete set of characters that can be represented by a computer system. So what I would like you to do now is take this down in your green books. It's something you have to take from this lesson. Press pause and then, of course, press play when you're ready to continue. This is a binary file that I prepared earlier, and it could be music, it could be an image, it could be representing numbers, but actually it's representing characters, and I have followed a well-known standard called ASCII, American Standard Code for Information Interchange. If you could look up these binary values in an ASCII table, you would be able to read what I have written here. So let's move on and learn more about that. So in ASCII, the capital letter A is represented by the binary number for 65. Capital letter B is going to be 66. You're not expected to remember these codes. You don't need to know any of them. But what you do need to know is that a letter or a character is represented by a binary number in ASCII, so it's encoded. And also, you need to know that these go in a sensible order, a logical order. So you would now be expecting the next one letter I'm going to show you is going to be C. And you would also expect its value, its denary value, to be 67. And that is correct. As well as letters and numbers, there are punctuation marks and so on that can be represented in ASCII. And when you hit the space bar, the binary code for that, I've shown it there for you, and that has the denary equivalent of 32. So what I'm doing now is actually just showing you the ASCII table. So we're starting at capital A. You would expect, of course, that this system also supports lowercase letters, and it does. But we're looking at capital A, which is 65, and we've got the binary equivalent here. And here I am counting in denary and also counting in binary. So I'm going to move along through these slides until I get to Z, and I've also put in the 32 there for the space. There are more than this in ASCII. This is just what I've decided to share with you right now. Okay, so a task for you to do. Could you write the letters BART in binary using an ASCII standard? Now, you might want to go online and look up an ASCII table, or you might just want to go back over this video so far to get the information that you need. But pause the video while you do that. Once you're complete, press play again, and I'm ready to move on. So here I am showing you the binary for B, and then A, R, T. So I'm sure you got that. This brings me back to the original file I started with. Now, this actually is BART. So the first 8 bits of this is the B, the next 8 is A, and so on, and I've used ASCII. So Looking at those bits on their own, it was difficult to know what it is, but once we know that we are using an ASCII code and that there's 8 bits per character, well then we would be able to decode this, and that's because we follow the ASCII standard. In the exam, when they give you a question on ASCII, they will be using 8 bits. When you are revising and look at different sources, you may well come along a 7-bit ASCII code, and that's okay, that's fine, but the exam board have specified 8 bits. So what have we learned about the ASCII character set? Well, we've learned that each character is represented by 8 bits. And if we think about that, the biggest denary number you can have in an 8-bit or a byte is 255. So if you then think about 0 as well, then you could have 256 different combinations. That's actually not a lot. When you think about, uppercase, lowercase, all the punctuation, lots of different languages, emojis and so on, 256 is not going to cover everything. However, it has been around since the 60s, so it has served its purpose. Another character set is one called Unicode, and you're expected to know a small amount about Unicode in the exam too. So you need to know that Unicode has more storage space than ASCII. So that an example here is some versions of Unicode have got 32 bits per character. So that's a lot more than 8, and therefore it can store a lot more. So it has a larger character set, including support for a variety of languages. It's more modern than ASCII. So let's look at them then side by side. So Unicode has more storage space, larger character set, and is more modern. So this is something that you do need to take from this lesson. So if you take these notes down in your green book, and that is everything for this video. So take time now to have a look at where you feel your knowledge is now on characters. Once you're happy you've done that, if you fill in this slip in your green book. But that's it for now.